Family oestridae. Family oestridae. Hairy fleas with rudimentary mouth part. The adult do not feed. These are protelian parasite, where the larva stage are parasitic and the adult are non-parasitic. Genus Ostrus, species Ovis, Hypoderma lenientum. First, Swift nasal fly. Swift nasal fly. Ostrus ovis. Ostrus ovis. Common name Swift nasal fly, nasal board fly, Swift head fly, Swift gad fly. इसके बारे में मॉर्फोलॉजी, लाइफ साइकिल, इफेक्ट ऑन द होस्ट, कंट्रोल, प्रोफाइलैक्सिस. इसकी मॉर्फोलॉजी की बात करते हैं तो डार्क ग्रे कलर, हेयरी फ्लाई, हेड, अरिस्टा वेयर, माउथ पार्ट वेस्टिजियल इन एडल्ट, मसी टाइप विंग वेनेशन, thorax, terry spot are seen on the thorax, abdomen. Few black color spots are also seen in the abdomen. The adult stage are non-parasitic, while the larval stage are seen in the nasal cavity and the other sinuses of sheep or sometime in goat and man as well. Life cycle. Fly are larviparous. The female fly dirt at the sheep. When the sheep rise its head, it deposits a larvae around the nostril of the sheep. The first stage larvae then close into the nasal passage. The larvae move within using its oval hook, feed on the excess nasal discharge produced by the affected sheep. Date of the development. The first instar varies, may take just 2 weeks or could get extended to many months. The larvae mouth form the second stage larvae, which move into the frontal and maxillary sinuses. Had they developed rapidly from the third stage mature larvae. Generally, the third stage larvae is sneezed and the pupation occurs on the ground. Usually, the larvae development is completed in 25-day time, but can be extended to 9 months in unfavorable condition. The adult emerge in a month's time. Larvae. The first stage larvae is whitish in color. The mature third stage larvae is large, around 3 cm long, with black oral hook, dark black bands, and all the segment on the dorsal aspect. On the ventral aspect, they have a small row of rose thorn-shaped spines. The posterior end of the larvae appear large and truncated, and the posterior spiracles are very clearly visible. These spiracles are brown, D-shaped, with radiating slit. Ostrus ovis larva. Ostrus ovis posterior spiracle. Effect on host. Due to adult fly. The very presence of the fly causes panic in sheep. The fly may cause gadding in animal, which run madly about, resulting in injury and even death of young animal. The animal stop feeding, become restless, shake their hand to even press their noses. The group or between other sheep in an attempt to avoid the fly from larvae positing. Since the feed intake is affected, the condition of the animal deteriorates. Due to larval stage, Due to larval stage, the first stage larvae move around in the nasal passage, causing considerable irritation with its oral hook and spines. This results in the secretion of a viscid mucus exudate on which the larvae feed. At times, the damage may result in blood-tinged mucus being secreted. The infected sheep shakes its head, has a nasal discharge, and sneezes frequently. The nasal region of the affected sheep is dirty in appearance, and hence the condition is sometimes called snotty nose. Sometimes from the frontal and maxillary sinus of the second stage larvae may accidentally move towards the brain, causing injury to the brain, even erosion of the skull, all of which leads to neurological symptoms in sheep which resemble the condition caused by coinuncus cerebralis. Hence, the condition is termed as false gid or oestridae. At the time the larvae are deposited by the adult fly on man, frequently affected are the shepherds who are in close contact with the animal. The larvae has been reported to have been deposited on the eye, nostril, gum, lip, etc. of man. Control. Treatment of affected animal. Instillation of HCH in oil 1 to 4% into the nostril. 55 to 88 mg per kg of a mixture of 2 gram Negvon and 0.2 gram Asantol. 7.5 mg per kg of Refoxanide. Refoxanide as a drench nasal distillation. Ivermectin. Prophylaxis. Feed sheep in narrow troughs. The edge of the trough should be smeared in tar. This enables the animal to smear themselves with a repellent. Neem oil can also be used as repellent. Neem oil can be also used as repellent. Oxwable fly. Oxwable fly. Oxwable fly, common name oxwable fly, heel fly, cattle grub fly. इसकी मॉर्फोलॉजी, लाइफ साइकिल, इफेक्ट ऑन द होस्ट, कंट्रोल, प्रोफाइलैक्सिस देखते हैं. मॉर्फोलॉजी. हेयरी फ्लाई रिजेंबल ए बी. हेड इसका वेस्टिजियल माउथ पार्ट कवर्ड विथ येलोविश वाइट हेयर. thorax covered with yellowish white hair. Abdomen light yellow hair on the anterior and darker hair in the middle. Posterior end of abdomen has orange yellow hair. Life cycle. Life cycle. Adult fly does not feed and only ovipositor on the cattle, usually the lower region of the hind leg, hence the common name heel fly. A fly oviposit at least 6 eggs toward the base of the ear of the cattle during the summer months. The eggs are spindle shaped and provided with a clasper with the help of which they hold on to the hair. The egg hatches in 3-4 days. The first stage larvae penetrate through the skin and migrate in the intermuscular connective tissue to reach the diaphragm. Most larvae reach the tissue of the esophagus in 4 months' time and spend the winter in the submucosal connective tissue of the esophagus. Hence, the site is referred to as the winter resting site. The first stage larvae molt to form the second stage larvae, which in the beginning of spring, example January, migrate toward the dorsal aspect of the body, reaches the subcutaneous tissue of the back, and molt to the third stage. The back of the animal is hence referred to as spring resting site. When the larva reach the skin of the back, an inflammatory reaction results in the formation of swelling. The second stage larvae perforate the swelling. It then molds, and the third stage larvae lies upside down with the posterior spiracle directed against the perforation. The mature larvae has no oral hook and feed on the inflammatory exudate in the swelling. This swelling in the skin of the cattle are referred to as wobbles. The wobble stage lasts for 30 days. It falls off the wobble into the soil and pupates. Pupation takes 1 month time. Entire life cycle is completed in 1 year. Larvae. Larvae. Mature larvae lack oral hook, 2.5 cm in size, presence of fleshy tubercles on each of the segments, presence of fine spine on the segments. Posterior spiracle are kidney or bean shaped with radiating slit. Hypoderma lineatum larva. Hypoderma species posterior spiracles. Effect on host. Due to adult fly, the characteristic buzzing noise and the persistent ovipositing behavior of the fly cause panic in cattle. The fly may cause gagging in animal which run madly about, resulting in injury, spontaneous abortion, even death of young animal. The animal stop feeding, become restless. Since the feed intake is affected, the condition of the animal deteriorates. There is retarded growth and reduced milk yield due to larval stage. Due to first larval stage, many larvae enter through the same opening in the skin, which result in an exudate from the injured healed region. The opening made by the larvae is prone to bacterial infection and to meiosis. The entry holes are edematous and inflamed. Due to the second and third stage larvae, migration of the larvae through the subcutaneous tissue result in the production of greenish yellow tract with eosinophilic infiltration. The affected beef is called latched beef, while the gelatinous tract in the beef are butchered jelly. The beef is anesthetic and hence extensive trimming of the affected areas are required before sale. This results in extensive loss to the farmer. The affected beef, even following trimming, has a short shelf life. The presence of the first and second stage larvae in the esophageal region can cause stenosis of the esophagus. Causes rupture. The presence of the second and third stage larvae on the back of the animal result in formation of wobble. In addition to being painful, the animal these wobble due to the perforation in them downgrade the quality of hide to a great extent. Accidental rupture of the wobble can result in anaphylactic shock. It can also result in the production of abscesses due to bacterial infection. The perforation can also attract other meiosis producer. Affected animals are generally deliberated in appearance. Thus, carcass and high depreciation are the most important feature of this infection. Aberrant host. Aberrant host. Man has been known to be affected, result in painful wobbles in the chest region. Horse can also be affected. Control. Mechanical removal of the larvae can be done when the larvae is mature. However, attempt to squeeze out the larvae may rupture it, which in turn result in localized swelling and abscess formation. Insecticide can be used ivermectin at 0.2 mg per kg SC subcutaneous is effective. Organophosphorus has also been given parentally or dermally. Caution is required while using insecticide since the death of the larva in esophageal region could have detrimental effect. Dry dressing could be applied to the bubble, especially to clog the pores, which result in the death of the mature larva. Prophylaxis. Prevention of the fly from ovipositing is possible if water bodies are available for the cattle to wade into and thus protect their heel region. Prophylaxis using vaccine is under study. Hypodermin A is a potential vaccine candidate for Lineatum family Gastrophilidae. Next family Gastrophilidae.